First joining me now is the one and the only Brett Kenyon, or Papa Mississippi, as he's known across social media. Welcome to the show, Brett. Good to see you.
Thank you very much. This is an honor to be here.
Well, this is your old stomping grounds, too. This is your alma mater, among other things.
It is. WJTV is the station that gave me my big break. I started as a sales assistant here and got into marketing here, and they taught me pretty much everything I knew about the business.
And now you have moved on to where the whole business is moving. That's kind of onto the internet now.
Yes.
First of all, tell me about starting your series there and it's on Facebook. I know that's where I see it's on Facebook. Right. It's on all these other things. So tell me about how that got started.
Well, you know, it started as a test at the beginning. I wasn't ever planning to be an influencer or to have a channel of my own, really. It was a marketing test to see if I could figure out the best practices and then teach other people how to do it. And after the first few that I did, it just got really interesting. I kind of got bit by the bug. Storytelling's been a big part of my family my entire life. My grandparents, my dad, we traveled all over the country. My dad kept us busy, all 5 of us kids in the car, by telling us stories the whole time, and he had to keep making them up because we'd have them memorized. So it's in the blood. And then it's hard when you get to Mississippi not to feel just surrounded by the stories here.
Oh, they're everywhere. Yeah.
Yes.
And so you pick them out, and if kind of tell people what you do just in case they've not seen your stuff yet.
Well, what I typically do is I try to distill Mississippi stories down to 1-2 minutes, very quick, just to introduce folks to the legends, the heroes, the true stories, some of the fun fiction that's out there about Mississippi, and more than anything, it's to advocate for the state of Mississippi.
Okay.
I want folks that are outside the state, when they think about Mississippi, when they look at Mississippi, to see the richness that we are giving back to the world, because too often the negative narrative kind of takes over, and stereotypes get out. What's the phrase? A lie will make it around the world 3 times before the truth is getting out of bed.
Yeah.
And so I think the truth about Mississippi is very quickly getting out of bed and ready to start a new day, and I'm just happy to be telling some of those stories.
Okay, before I forget it, because we'll get engrossed here talking about telling stories and things like that, tell people where they can find what you are doing and what you call it.
Yes, so it's Papa Mississippi is the title. Came up with Papa just because that's what my kids call me.
Okay.
And Mississippi because they taught me in marketing, put what you do in the name. So,
very good.
It's so landed on that, and it just took off. And so that's on TikTok, it's on Instagram, and it's on Facebook as well.
Okay. How do you pick your stories? This what comes next, or?
It's been a very organic process.
Yeah, okay.
When I first started, I actually, some of the stories that you did in the past really kind of helped pave the way in a lot of ways of just opening my eyes to a lot of really cool things about the state. Working with Ken South in the past, he introduced me to things like the Windsor ruins, and I don't know if it's a prerequisite in Mississippi that if you're in weather, you have to know so much about the state history, but I have found that to be true with a lot of meteorologists here.
You have to at least know how to pronounce Myersville and Belzona.
Ooh, boy. Pronunciation, that was a hard one to get into, but I'm learning, and I apologize to the folks in Chattawa. For my last video, I now know how to say it. It's not Chattawa.
Oh, you did the monster.
I did.
Good. What kind of stories intrigue you? Any particular genre, or you just like them all?
So usually the way it works is I'll find a story that I think will just interest me personally, or it answers a question. I'm a very curious person. I'll walk outside and go, why is the crepe myrtle dripping on me? I'll Google it and I'll be like, oh, that's disgusting, but that would make a great story. And so a lot of times I'll just be answering my own curiosity, but then I'd say 9 times out of 10, somebody writes a message and says, that was really cool, you should do something about this.
Yeah.
And it's something I've never heard about before, but I look it up and I think, why isn't this a movie? This is amazing.
Exactly.
Because Mississippi has such an oral storytelling history, and it's, I think stories get passed down generation to generation, and so everybody in this pocket of Mississippi knows this one story, everybody in this pocket of Mississippi knows another story, and when they start swapping those stories, it's just, it's like lightning.
Have you found out anything that really surprised you, that you were unaware of and went, wow, I had no idea this was in Mississippi?
You know, a big one for me was the World War II history in Mississippi. You don't really think about the Gulf Coast as being such a big part of World War II. You think that is happening, you think maybe the East and West Coast a little bit, but the Gulf seems a little secluded. But the fact that we sank a German U-boat in the Gulf when it was attacking our freighters and ferries, did not know about that. They just found the wreckage a couple of decades ago, and they thought that the thing had gotten away, but apparently it hadn't.
Surprise, surprise.
Yes.
What's your next story?
Oh boy, you know, someone wrote and asked me to do a story about the Appalachia and how it technically starts in the north part of Mississippi, and a lot of people don't know that. So that's going to be one of the ones that I'll be exploring soon. And then there's some favorites that I like to revisit every once in a while. Pascagoula has some great ones. The Legend of the Singing River. I was thinking about going back to the Phantom Barber there, the guy that used to sneak into people's homes and cut their hair in the middle of the night. Bizarre true stories.